There you are. We're back. It's Monday, and we are the Daily Reset for Success show. I forgot where we were. Sorry. Anyway, I'm Lady Lou, the baby boomer babe, and there's Mary and LaSalle waving at us. And our special guest is Janette Gray. Hi, Janette.
Hello.
Jeanette is one of those wonderful people who works from home. So we have invited her to share this half hour with us and give us some of her insights. But first, Marian's going to walk us through. Oh, who have we got here? Mary. Mary Shin is with us today. Hi, Mary. And she says it's
rock and roll time in her neighborhood.
Ours too, because we just love being on this show. We come in to help you reset for your success every Monday, and especially with this work from home series. This is number 19, I believe, isn't it, Marian?
I think it's number 20. I think we've been going for 20 weeks.
I've lost track, but it's just been one of our better shows. So we just keep going. And we'll let Marian give us some good information here about some jobs she knows about. And then we'll talk with Jeanette. Thank you.
Welcome, everybody. I know why you're here. You want to work from home. Whether you have been laid off or you're worried about getting laid off or you just want to change. Let's face it, sometimes we get bored doing what we're doing or they're not paying us enough. I was thinking about that. You know, my boss, I shouldn't talk about him. Maybe he's watching the show. Never mind. But I get to work from home most of the time. Occasionally I do have to come in, and today is not that day that I want to be here. I'm on the 12th floor of a high-rise building in Houston, hot in Houston, and there's no air conditioning. Does anybody feel sorry for me?
I do. I do. I'll fan you.
Thank you. If you see me like glistening, you'll know why, right? So, hi, Mary. Nice to see you. So, Mary is one of our success stories. She works from a motor home. Actually, she's got a fifth wheel. They call it a fifth wheel. So, she's got a truck, and then her camper, a big camper, sits down inside it somehow. I don't know how it all works.
Hitch. It's a hitch
thing. Get along hitch. And she travels around, and she is a nurse. So, she helps people with whatever it is that they're needing help with. And so she travels around. She does camp hosting sometimes. She's got other jobs that she's an all-around kind of work from home kind of gal. My dream is to be able to have a camper van or something like that where I can travel around too. And that's really what got me interested in helping you find a job from home. So I know a lady, and she's on YouTube. She has been traveling around in her motorhome for almost 2 years now. And so she's been investigating ways to work from home. And she's doing very well for herself and wrote a book. Took her a year to write it. It's called Work from Home While You Roam. And so a lot of the jobs that I bring to you are from her book, which she gave me permission to share. Because she, like me and Lady Lou and Jeanette, I'm sure, we all want you to have an income. We don't want you to have to rely on someone else paying you for something that might go away tomorrow. Right, ladies?
Oh, yes. Big time.
Yeah. So Lady Lou, you work from home, and Jeanette, you work from home as well. And we're going to get into some of the things that you've experienced working from home. But right now we need to get right to it and tell people give them some information about how they could also work from home. As long as you have a computer or a telephone, you really can do this. There are 2 types of work from home opportunities, 3 really. One is you find a company that is willing to pay you to do a job. You can work from home with a lot of different companies, especially now during the COVID, right? Where they have all these opportunities that you used to have to go into the office, but now they've made them so you could work from home. And it may not be ideal for that situation, but they made it happen. And I think they're liking it. I think they're going to keep it around. You know, it's cheaper for them, right? Not to have to have all these people in their space.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
It's working out more so than anybody dreamed it would.
Yeah. The second way you could work from home is to find your own gigs. And I call them gigs, but you could call them anything. Your own business, your own side hustle. There's a lot of different words for it, but basically you're going to find the clients. So you do the work, you find the clients. So that's two different things you have to do. When you have a job, they find your clients, right? They tell you what to do. So whichever one feels right to you, we're going to give you some opportunities for that. So let me get to it. Now, we've been doing this for 20 weeks. So if you don't hear what you want to hear today, please go back and look in the descriptions or watch the videos that we've done in the past, because there's a lot of opportunities. If you're willing to work, there's opportunities for you. I guarantee it. So let's say you want to create your own. I would look at Fiverr.com, peopleperhour.com, Upwork.com, or there's a lot of places that are like that are popping up. Okay, they're popping up all over the internet. I would go to ones that are established first before you go looking at brand new opportunities. Because let's face it, there's some people out there that are doing things that I'm not on board with. How about you?
Yeah. We don't want those fly-by-nighters.
And for all the links and information, it's going to be down in the description below. Okay. Now, let's say you really need a job. Okay. You need somebody to just pay you. You don't have the time to build a business or do a side hustle. You just want to get paid and you're ready to get a job. I would suggest going to FlexJobs, ZipRecruiter. I didn't say that right. ZipRecruiter. Somebody else say it.
ZipRecruiter.
Thank you. And there's another tongue twister. Expirator. I'll spell it. EXPERTEER.com. A huge place to go find a job is Indeed.com. And I find that if you go to Indeed.com and you type in the search and you say remote, that's the word they're using, remote, then you can find work at home jobs. Glassdoor.com is another one. And that one is the new guy on the block, but they've been established enough where I recommend them. All right. Any questions, ladies, on what I've discussed so far?
Well, mainly know that all of these things are down below in the descriptions below Facebook, YouTube, and on the podcast platforms. So if you didn't catch it, you can always find it there.
Good. Here's another one that really pays well, and that is being someone's assistant. Jeanette, do you have an assistant?
I don't have an assistant.
Would you like to have an assistant?
There are times when I would love an assistant. Yes.
Yeah.
And a chef.
What's that? And a chef.
And
yes.
a chef. And a few other people to just kind of, so I can concentrate on my staff and just have things managed for me. Absolutely. Missing a secretary. Absolutely.
Yes, exactly. So I'm going to recommend that you think about how well versed you are in, working around on the internet, typing, answering calls, things like that. You literally could be somebody's assistant and they pay really well. And it's maybe, really easy work for you. Now, to me, I couldn't be anybody's assistant because this is how I type, okay? It's not going to work. But if you're a good typist, you could be they call it a virtual assistant, and you can either go and find your own virtual assistant jobs by going to places like Fiverr or whatever, or you could go to Assistant Match, ASSISTANT match.com. And they literally have a place where you fill out what your skill levels are, what you're looking for, and they're going to pay you by the hour depending on what skills you have. They provide online training. If you you want to be an assistant, you're a pretty good typer, and you think you might want to do it, they're gonna give you free training, and they're going to help you get the experience you need to increase your pay and your career. You could literally have a huge career. You could have a whole bunch of people under you as well if you're really thinking about building a business. Yes, Lady Lou.
Do the applicants have to pay, or do they get to go in free and then the employers pay for the service to find people?
You know,
That's a good question.
Yeah, that is a good question, and I'll look that up. But I thought you had to pay like a service fee. But I'll look that up and get back with you. But if you go to assistantmatch.com/become-a-virtual-assistant, it takes you right to that page.
Then they can look it up.
Yeah, so maybe I'll look that up in a few minutes and let you know.
Okay.
Okay, now here's another one where it's really about you and what you can do, your skills. It's called care.com. So you can still be your own boss, and you do have to pay to put your information up there. It's kind of like a resume, if you will, and you tell them what you can do or what you're willing to do and how much you charge, and people will find you on care.com and they'll hire you. So it's really a nice way to do it where you're more secure, I guess, because they have to go through a third party. You're not just, relying on someone on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
I like care.com.
Good.
So if you want to be a babysitter, if you want to do house cleaning, if you want to take care of people with Alzheimer's, there is a list of different services that people go to care.com to get. And I can tell you, Lady Lou and I both wanted to hire a housekeeper.
Yeah.
And they charge an arm and a leg. They're getting a lot of money. So if you want to make some money, I'm telling you, housekeeping.
Yeah, come to Conroe.
It was like $150 for 2 hours. I was like, do you have a college degree? No. How could you charge that? I don't get it. But okay, whatever. But you could do pet care, like a dog walking, or you could do things like go to someone's home while they're away on vacation and take care of watering their plants and taking care of their pets and things like that. So I highly recommend you go and at least look at care.com if you want to be your own boss.
I think being my own boss is the only way I'd go.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'd like to start talking now a little bit about what it's like to work from home. So Jeanette is our guest today, and she works from home. So Lady Lou, I know you've got a couple questions for Jeanette. Why don't we start off by, drilling her?
Hey. Oh. Well, Jeanette and I met just not even a week ago through a mutual friend. And I think we bonded immediately, Jeanette, because she and I we think alike, because she has had a lot of experience, and she is very much into empowering women. And tell us a little bit more about all of that you do with your retreats and things like that for women.
Oh my goodness. Just very briefly, it started with, a question. Does anyone want to get together and learn about this? And I'll keep the title private, but it was shared with a bunch of people. Then all of a sudden I had a living room full of people. And then it was a women's group and a sharing circle. And I was doing coaching, right? And it was one-on-one health coaching. And then people would travel, right? And we still want to be connected with you. We still want to do this. And how can we do this? And then, started looking into the technology, started including people that were traveling live in the group with the live group. So I figured out a way to make that happen. This is all pre-COVID. So when we locked down, it's like, I know how to do this. This isn't impossible, right? It's like there are ways to work with what we have to really keep including everyone in what we have to offer. So whether it's the private stuff, whether it's my public kind of service type stuff, but yeah, so that's how that happened.
So you don't think it was planned for you to have this business? It just kind of happened because you wanted.
It happened.
It happened, isn't it? Now that is what I call working with your passion, working with your talents, creating something. So, are you a real people person? Is that how it started?
I would say mostly. What I am is curious, and I love hearing people's stories. And I learn and expand my knowledge, and then I get to share with others. So, yes, I've had training. I've been in the health industry probably ever since I was 10. My grandfather had a health food store in LA. So I was around a lot of different things, a lot of different modalities. By trade, I'm a beautician, a cosmetologist. So I've been in the beauty industry forever. I'll just leave it at that, forever. And I noticed that, most of my clients started becoming women. I did coach men and women with the health coaching, but it just started working better from home, being very private, because there are a lot of topics that women like to discuss that they just feel more comfortable in that environment. And then, so of course, moving to an online platform just became very natural, right? Our lives get busy, and I do use Zoom. Yeah. So just, our lives get busy, and sometimes it works really, really well. Like you said, you're at work, you've got an appointment. Oh my gosh, you can pop into the other room, or, let's take some time on this, right? Take some private time, and they don't have to leave. If they're home, they can go in and shut the door, and, my time. And so we have our discussions online, and it works well.
Especially women, they have to go in their closet or their bathroom to get me time, because otherwise people are like, Mom, or honey, can you get me this or that? It's like, hello, can't you see I'm working? Yeah.
The places that we find to just, have a private moment. Yes. Pantries, closets.
We can do this. We're women. We can manage. Yes. It's hiding out from the pets sometimes. It's the hard one.
Now, Lady Lou doesn't hide her cat at all. He just sometimes will just walk by on the screen, and we love that. See, I think that is what COVID has done for us, a positive. Okay, I know there's a lot of negatives, but a positive has been, it's okay to work from home. It's okay. We can manage it. We can deal with it. And, if our pets bark or they walk by or something, people are very okay with that. They really are. I was talking to a lady this morning, because where I work is called Office in America, and people want either us to answer their phone in their company name or to collect their mail, or both. Sometimes they want to come in and rent a room, because let's face it, once in a while you might want to have some peace and quiet. And I was talking to the lady who is working from home, and I hear her kids screaming, and it wasn't something you could, like, you can't even talk. I mean, the kids are screaming. And it was like, I thought, okay, that's great. You're working from home. I totally get it. It wasn't like, oh my God, really? You're working from home and you got your kids screaming, you can't get a babysitter. No, there's none of that anymore. Have you noticed? Everybody's very flexible now.
That's one good thing.
They are more flexible.
COVID.
Yeah, one positive.
Oh, well, Janice, you just sound like you've got a wonderful job that you have created, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So what kind of clients do you usually work with?
In my health coaching, I usually work with people with autoimmune disorders, diabetes, fertility, hormone issues. And my biggest joy is working with women who want to make babies.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes. And then I also do feminine power coaching. So really, working with women that want to self-actualize, they've asked that question, it's like, there's got to be more to life than this. And I feel that thing inside, but I don't know what it is. So I work with them to help them figure out what that is, to name it. And oftentimes it guides them in a direction that, just like it guided me to be in a place where I could work from home. What is it that I love to do? What is it that I enjoy to do? What's meaningful to me? And what contribution can I give? So, just being able to explore that, right?
Lady Lou, what is one thing working from home? What's one challenge you've had to overcome that you really feel like you've overcome it and you're good to go now? Working from home, what's one challenge?
Well, I think the biggest one was that I'm out here in the country alone during the school year. My nephew lives next door, and they're both teachers. They're gone. I'm here with my cat. I mean, it's just the two of us. And it got lonely there for a while. And then we decided, you and I, in fact, decided to do this show. And it's like you're in my living room now. You're part of my life. And I think that's part of the good thing that COVID has done for a lot of people. It has helped them learn to use Zoom because you can talk to your people. Marian and I have had lunch together. She's in Houston and I'm in Conroe. And we just sometimes sit here and do our own work and we can talk to each other back and forth. She's working on her end, I'm working on something else. And it has made the whole difference in the world. I'm not lonely up here anymore. I have friends.
Fantastic. And how about you, Jeanette? What's one challenge that you've had to overcome that you feel like you really have?
Managing distractions.
There's a good one. Tell us how you did it.
Okay. So how did I manage distractions? I actually have a little notepad that I sit next to my computer. And as I'm sitting there working, because I also do content editing. So that's another thing that I do. So I will set a time and space, right, where I will just focus on something. And, you get the Facebook pop-ups and the things pop up on your screen. And what I'll just do, if I need to address it, I'll write it down on the notepad on the side. And I'll get back to it when I've completed my time. My timer goes off. I'll Google or the Alexa, right? I'll just tell it, set the timer for an hour, right? And that's my hour focus. And I just make, it's a choice. It's an active choice, right? Laser focus. But when things come up, I just write it down on the notepad and I'll address it on my break. Right?
Yes, that's going to help a lot of people. Yeah, I have a love, not hate. I have a love challenge with social media and all the distractions because I'm on everything. So I teach technology. That's one of the things I do. And so I have everything because I have to teach it, right? So I have, I have Wix and WordPress, and as far as the websites go, and questions coming in from people on those. I also newsletters and all the different technology and social media. So I've got bings and bangs and emails and it literally can drive you crazy. So I've heard that in the past that you can turn all that off. However, I felt like, no, I have a daughter. What if she calls me and needs me? What if Louise calls me and says, help, I can't turn it off. So I do kind of have a challenge with that, although it's underlying, it's always there. You know what I mean? It's always there. But I've learned to say, oh, that's just Facebook. Oh, that's just, and I've learned to, even my cell phone now that goes off every time somebody's, been kidnapped, all the state and the government sending me alarms, like I got alarms going off and, it's really a distraction, isn't it? You have to learn to cope with it or turn it off.
And we can do that. Well, Jeanette, you have a special offer for our audience. Why don't you tell us about that?
I do. I just wanted to put out an offer for a discovery session if anyone is interested to chat and see what some of their challenges are, what their gifts are, and what their vision is for things that they would like to do, possibly working from home or working, for themselves or for someone else. Some of the things that you've discussed today, and sometimes within that there are some challenges and things that maybe they've tried before that hasn't worked out. But so I'm offering a discovery session, just 30 minutes, just to have a chat and hopefully open some things up a little bit.
Yeah. And
open up some possibility.
Right. And the link for everyone to use when they want to set this appointment is a calendly.com link. And it's down in below in the description. Just click on that and then go to her calendar and you can schedule your appointment. So this is a perfect thing because so many people need somebody to bounce ideas off of. And because I know I've asked my friends, what is it I'm good at? You're inside, you can't tell. So you need somebody outside to tell you, what are you really good at? And then you can walk yourself through it. So that's a beautiful thing to offer our audience. Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, I think that when we're trying to create an income for ourselves and we're looking at different things that we could do, like Lady Lou said, sometimes it takes someone else to tell us what they think we'd be good at, because when we think about it, our mind can just go all different places, like, well, I wouldn't be very good at that, or I'm not sure I could make money at that, right? So that might be something that you could help them with as well. I think it's important to always have somebody, especially people who work for themselves. They need somebody that they could talk to. Somebody, either a therapist, sometimes we all need therapists, or a coach. Would you consider yourself a coach?
I am a coach, and so one of the things is that I'm not a fortune teller. So maybe telling you what you're good at when I don't know you very well in 30 minutes might be reaching. However, being able to have a conversation, generating some awareness, and just having that opportunity just to even hear your own words. Oftentimes, things will come out that you didn't expect, right? New possibilities, some curiosities, and it's through those conversations. If we were left to do it all on our own, it's difficult and challenging. Mm-hmm. But when we expand that, we include people and people they're there for us, right? Other things come out, other possibilities come out, especially in these situations when we're trying to figure things out, right? We're doing things in a different way, in a new place, or maybe we've done it at home before, but everyone else is home too now, right? I mean, that's very different. Yeah. So in the context of just trying to figuring out what works well, what are the challenges, how can things be resolved, right? What can create solutions that make this more enjoyable, right? Because if we're going to work from home, why not enjoy it? Because really, isn't it nice to be able to say, you know what, I'm going to call my own break on this one. I'm going to go walk outside, get some fresh air, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We need that. We need to be able to do that. Well, I know we're very short on time. I'm really grateful, Jeanette, that you joined us today. Please feel free to come back. As a matter of fact, I think you're scheduled to come back for a show that is specifically all about you and what you're doing. So stay tuned. For those people who are listening to us on a podcast, just know that if you'd like to come and see what we look like, you're more than welcome to come over to YouTube. Just look up Marian LaSalle and you'll see Natural Curiosity. And did you hear Jeanette? She fits right in because she's curious. This is the Natural Curiosity programs that we run all the time because we too are curious about everything from, having children to working a job to saying goodbye when it's our time to leave the planet. There's everything in between that we could talk about and we're curious about. I want to recommend that you think about coming to, if you're a business owner or want to start a business, we have a mastermind that's every Tuesday night. I'd like to invite you to reach out and talk to us about that as well. We all need support. We all want to be able to work together to solve our problems. I thank you for joining us. I hope you'll come back and see us again. And bye for now.
Thank you, Jeanette. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.